Hello, everybody. Welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways. I'm Sheila.
I'm Joe.
And today we're going to talk scrambles. We're going to do two different kinds of scrambles. But to start the video, I want to kind of give you one of our favorite kitchen hacks that we have been using for several months now. So I have an electric pressure cooker. I have the one from Pampered Chef, but you know, there's many different brands out there. And one of the things I've been doing each week is I get potatoes prepped for us. So this morning I put 8 potatoes in here, and the sizes, that one's a little ready. It depends on how many you want in a week. So I just put 8 potatoes. I clean them really good. I've done it with gold potatoes. I've done it with red, and these are russets today. I wash the potatoes really good. Then I poke a couple holes in them, put them in here. I don't need to use the basket. I don't use the trivet, nothing like that. And I add a cup of water. I put it on for 6 minutes, and then I let it naturally release. I don't quick release it. And then what happens is we have baked potatoes that are already done, and we can use them for various dishes throughout the week. So today, the base of both of our scrambles is fried potatoes, but I've done them in the oven without oil using the potatoes that I pre-cooked. And I had 2 from the previous week. So we've also, this past week, Joe took one of these, or a couple of them actually, and just out of the fridge, and he just used a potato masher and squished them down some, and they were like smashed potatoes. I cut them into wedges this week, put some seasoning on them, put them in the air fryer, and then I had homemade French fries to go with my salad. They're also easy to put in a soup. It just makes it so much easier. So this morning, once these were done and I let them cool, then you just put them in the fridge if you want them for later in the week. In the case of the potatoes, I just let them cool enough so where I could cut them into smaller chunks. And I did add some onions and a little bit of garlic and herb seasoning and black pepper. We put them in the oven. We have a convection oven. So I did put them on 425 for the convection, and they've been in there for 15 minutes. And now we're going to get them out, and that'll be the base of both of our scrambles. So give me a second to get those out. Look at this perfection. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Okay, so the potatoes are done. You can see that we've got a little crispy on them. Obviously, if you want them a little more crispy, leave them in there for a little bit longer, turn them up on a higher temp, whatever is what your family would like. You could also cut them smaller so they would cook quicker, whichever way you want to do it. But these smell awesome. Now, this is a very well-seasoned stone, so I didn't need to use any oil or anything. I've also shown you sometimes I use a silicone mat because I don't cook with any oil, but this way they don't stick. And let me show you that. I'll just use this spoon, and there you go. See, they're all ready to go. Look at that perfection to go on our scramble. So Joe's going to start with his scramble, and then I'll come back and I will do my scramble. Thank you.
All right, welcome back. As Sheila stated, we're doing, I think she referred to as scrambles. Basically, it's breakfast today. What she's going to do, if you can see, we kind of separated some of the potatoes, and I've got my stuff out. What I'm making today is breakfast burritos. One will be for breakfast today, and then the rest will be wrapped up individually, put in the freezer, and I have breakfasts to take to work throughout the next couple of weeks. So one of the things I wanted to kind of go over real quick, just so you guys know, we used to be in the food business. We owned a restaurant for many years, and I don't think a lot of people know this, and I'm just kind of pointing it out. When you go to grocery store or wherever, Walmart, wherever it is you want to go do your shopping, if you're looking for a cutting board, you wonder why they're different colors. Why they're different colors is kind of as a symbol, so you know which one to grab, so you're not cross-contamination on stuff. Green typically is for vegetables and that kind of fun stuff. These are some flexible cutting boards, but they're still color-coded, and it's kind of neat. These have little descriptions on here how to do a large dice, small dice, medium dice. It's got measurements here, so you can measure if you're cutting to a certain length, like carrots or celery, that kind of thing. Red, obviously, is for breads, hands-on type of stuff. Anything that you have to have your hands in there mixing up or doing what have you. And it tends to have, actually, if you can look in there, I know you can't see it, but it has like, what's a teaspoon, what's equivalent to a tablespoon, what's equivalent to the size of your palm of your hand, or that kind of thing. So it helps you, you don't have to measure every little tiny thing. You can go in there, do that. And of course, we have one done for chopping, which is kind of hands-on for basically meaning meats or poultry, anything like that. So what I'm going to do today is, you can see I got some tortillas, and we've got some leftover bacon that I diced up. We've got sausage and my scrambled eggs. I pretty mixed them up already, so they're ready to go. And I have some more of cheese from last week that we used. We have a little bit left over, so I'm going to try to finish that up, and we're going to put that in with my burritos as well. And of course, potatoes, so you have an all-around breakfast when you're doing this. So usually what I do is I end up always overfilling these quite a bit, and it becomes kind of a nuisance to try to do it, but it doesn't hurt when you're really hungry about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning at your desk and you're wanting something good and kind of fills you up. This is a good way to do that. What I do, kind of keep it off the sides. So I'm mixing some of my eggs, some of my sausage, potatoes, and I might throw a piece or two of bacon in here, and then wrap some cheese on top of that. And you can see when I go to work and I pull this out of the freezer that morning, it will be still fairly frozen, but about a minute and a half in the microwave, and then I pull it out, cut it in half, kind of turned it 90 degrees so it can cook on the inside as well as around the outside edge. And then about another minute, and it comes out, and the cheese is all melted and gooey, and it makes for a really, really good, enjoyable breakfast about mid-morning, especially if you have an errand to do at lunchtime or what have you. This will help a lot as far as keeping you, boy, I got this one really full. So we wrap it up, and that's it. I'll go ahead and do another one here real quick. And what we'll do is we'll wrap these in saran wrap and then put them in a Ziploc freezer bag. And then all I have to do is just pull one out when I'm ready. So we'll do the same thing again here. And then whatever leftovers I have this morning, I'm going to probably just heat them up in the microwave and make a bowl with the exact same ingredients, and just put that in for our breakfast this morning. We haven't eaten yet this morning. We kind of had a late start getting motivated and out of bed this morning. And I think Sheila mentioned a while back when we did something with tortillas, these tortillas are kind of soft, so you kind of have to be careful with them because they'll tear. But you get all that in there, and then just kind of wrap it up nice and tight. And if they tear, it's not the end of the world. You can still eat it. At least I do anyway. And that's pretty much it. We'll wrap these up in saran wrap, and I'll get probably 2 more, and then I'll have breakfast in a bowl today. And once that's done, when we come back, Sheila's got all her stuff prepped and ready, and she's going to show you what she's going to have for breakfast this morning. That's all I got, guys.
Hey, welcome back. So I am making a tofu scramble today. But before you turn away and turn off the camera, why don't you see me through on this? So I've already started. I've got 1/4 of a cup of chopped bell pepper and chopped onion. I had a little bit of onion in the fridge, and the bell pepper I had in the freezer. So I got that started in a skillet with most of the tofu. This is a dry skillet. Again, you don't need oil. You got plenty of water that comes out of your vegetables and out of your tofu, or you can always add a little bit of water if needed. I have not needed to do that on this particular one. I have the stove on a medium heat, but I want to show you with the rest of this tofu what I do. So when you take the tofu out of the package, in this case, I didn't need to hard press it to get the water out of it. I just needed to squeeze it a little bit. So I did that, and then I just take it and I just crumble it with my hands, because I want it to get that, I don't want it in chunks. I want it like this, like you would in a scramble. And put the rest of that in there. We don't want to lose any of that goodness. So with tofu, it's a blank canvas for anything you want it to be. In this case, I want it to be a scramble. So we're going to add seasonings accordingly. So I'm going to start with some nutritional yeast. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of that. Nutritional yeast will give it that cheesy flavor, if you will. I know I did not care for nutritional yeast when I first started eating this way, but as my taste buds changed, this is a half tablespoon, by the way, hence why I'm doing 4. Once my taste buds changed, I do really like it. Now, it's not cheese. I'm not saying that it's cheese. I'm just saying it kind of gives it more of that scramble-y flavor. The turmeric, this is a phenomenal herb for you. It's a great anti-inflammatory, but in this case, you notice that wonderful color. It's going to help turn this into more of an eggy color. So it doesn't need much. You just need a half a teaspoon of it right here. Okay. Next, I want some garlic and herb seasoning. So I'm going to use a half a tablespoon of that. Oh my gosh, this smells amazing. Next, some pepper. Use however much you want. I'm not going to actually be using salt for this. Now, I'm a heavy pepperer. I get that complaint a lot from my family. And then for my salt, I'm going to use a teaspoon of tamari sauce. Okay, so I'm going to put all this in there, and then we're going to talk about tofu while this continues to cook. It only takes about 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how you like your scramble done. Look at that color changing. Doesn't that look amazing? It smells so good in here. And you could change up the vegetables or not add any vegetables at all. It's completely your choice, or just finish up a bunch of veggies you have in the freezer, or in the fridge, excuse me. So while this continues to cook on a medium heat, I did want to talk about the 2 types of tofu there is. The tofu I use today is this tofu. So this is extra firm. You can buy just firm. This is in the refrigerator section, and it would be over in most grocery stores in your produce area, but there'll be a cold area, and it will have other non-meat products. In addition to the tofu, it'll also have the egg roll wrappers. That's where this would be. And for something like this, or for a stir fry, that's usually what you want to use, is this kind of tofu. There's a shelf. Oh! So sorry, everybody. Dropped my microphone. That's not good. Okay. The other kind of tofu is shelf-stable tofu, and you'll find this in the grocery store in the Asian section. Like, you have all your soy sauces like hoisin or soy sauce or tamari, and then usually 1 or 2 shelves down, you'll see the shelf-stable. So this doesn't need to stay in the fridge, and you'll see it says silken. It would not do good with this. The texture of it wouldn't be right. This is more for puddings or icing or something you want to bake with. That's more of the consistency of this. So that's the difference between the 2. And I know when I first started, I didn't realize there was a difference. And yeah, you won't get they're for 2 different uses. So that's what I wanted to make sure I explained. So as you can see, this is now fully cooked. Everything, we're getting a little color on that tofu. Look at that. That's just, I hope you can see we're getting the color on the tofu, and it is ready to go. This will make more than what I need for just 1 meal. So I can put this on top of noodles for later in the week. I can make a breakfast burrito out of this later in the week. So many things I can do with this. But this morning, I'm going to actually use it with these potatoes. So I want to show you how I'm going to serve it. So I've got those potatoes that I did in the oven. Now I'm going to add the tofu scramble Oh my goodness. Let me turn this off. And then for me, I'm going to add a bunch of fruit. That's how I'm going to finish this up. But that's what it looks like. It is so good. Let me give you guys a try. In case you're wondering, does she really eat the tofu? Because I don't know if she does. I really do eat the tofu, but I got to get everything in there. The potato including. Oh my goodness. So good. Another way you can do it is make it a Southwest. You can use chipotle flavor and salsa. Is another way you can do it. So there you go. There's our one dish, 2 ways. Thank you all so much. Please leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Are you liking the videos? Are you not? We're trying to improve every week. Give us a thumbs up. And if you want to know how we release a video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thank you, everybody. Have a good week.